Yay, we're now live. Welcome to Motivational Monday. And tonight, I know we're running late. It was supposed to be this afternoon. Times changed. Things happened. We fly by the seat of our pants around here. And tonight, we're going to hang out with Kim, who has been one of my keto sisters for years. And she has an amazing story to tell us. So I'm really, really excited. And also, she decorates cakes and cookies, and they're so pretty. They're so pretty. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you, Kim, to get started, and then we'll go through questions, because I know it's easier if we do like question, answer, but if you want to share with us a little bit about you and your brand new Clapper page, if all my friends want to follow you on Clapper, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I just signed up today, so I know nothing about it yet, but I'm going to get there. So it'll just take me a little bit of, I've been a little busy lately, so haven't really had a lot of time to get things set up. So, but about who I am, or so
whichever way you want to go first.
Huh?
I said whichever way you want to go first. Kim the Magnificent.
I am a wife of 32 years, almost 33 years. It's pretty awesome. We've got 3 kids. They are all officially now married. We got our last one married off last month. So we are finally have an empty nest for the first time. And so that's been pretty awesome. And we've got some grandkids that live next door, so that's pretty awesome too. So I am a home baker, which has been challenging, I have learned, with trying to be keto and eating healthy and then making all this sugar stuff. Because, and starting keto and then starting my business happened almost the same time. I started keto a little bit before I started my business. I've been baking for like 25 years, but I had not done it out, except for friends and family. And so I started up a page on Facebook, and it kind of exploded.
Yeah,
and
it did.
I went to, baking a couple times a month to baking 5 to 7 days a week. So yes. I just kind of threw my health on the back burner and started eating my sugar stuff again. So
well,
I found out that wasn't really good for me.
Well, and I want to talk about that journey today, because you have been with me, I want to say, almost since the beginning of when I started my pages. So about 6 months after I started keto. So for almost 4 years.
Keto, 2017.
Yep, same as me.
2017.
And I started my pages October of 2017, and I feel like I met you somewhere between that October and that January, like really in the very beginning. And we've been on a roller coaster together. Like
yes. Yes. Definitely.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the first time you fell off track and messaged me, because this happens a lot of times with a lot of my friends, and they'll say, don't be mad at me, Dory. Don't be mad at me. I didn't keto. I've gained like a whole bunch of weight back. I feel super crappy. Please still love me. Please still be my friend. And I'm like, of course, dude. I still love you. I still want to be your friend. Why didn't you tell me sooner? So let's start our tale there, because I think we went there a couple of times, and now we have a solution, like, to share by the end of this tale. If you guys stay tuned, I think we figured out the key to staying on track. But first, let's start with when you fall off track. I mean, you're doing so good, and everything is going great. You're like, oh, look at me, I'm losing weight.
Yeah, and I did great for over a year, about a year and a half. I didn't lose as much as I did this time in like 4 months. But, I was doing really good, and I felt so much better. My arthritis was in remission. My fibro was in remission. I was feeling so great. And that went on for about a year and a half. And then we went on vacation, and I was able to eat off track, but then came home and went right back on track.
I remember that trip.
That, and I did that a few times, but it was like every time I did that, it was like, well, look how good you did, even when you ate crap.
Right.
And that's a real easy trap to fall into. It's, it's one thing to do it every once in a while, but when every once in a while becomes every day, then you end up going right back to the old habits. And that's what happened. I fell into that trap. That in the very beginning, it was, I went on vacation, I ate low carb, didn't do keto, but I did low carb, and I would splurge here and there, but it wasn't too bad, but it was enough for me to think, and not even consciously. Subconsciously, my mind's going, look what you ate, and you didn't gain any weight. So let's see how far you can go with that. And that's pretty much what happened. So that was the first time of falling off.
Well, and how long does it take for you to realize you actually fell all the way off? Because how long do you play that game with your brain where you're like, it's just a low carb day. Dory wouldn't even judge me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm only going to eat this little bit of junk, and then tomorrow, right back on track. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, uh-oh, I have been off track for a really long time. So I'm always curious about that process because it makes me sick when I go off track. I really haven't ever gone right off of the rails. So I'm always curious about that time in between.
It can be months before you really realize. I know for me it was probably a few months before I realized, wait a minute, where am I? It's like, how did I get from there to, I was, feeling so good and having energy and just feeling great about how I looked and how I felt. And then it was like slipping, and I never went back 100% to the way I used to eat. I gained the weight all back, which that's not even
Thanks.
fair.
Thanks, that's not even fair. I didn't eat all the junk. I shouldn't gain back all the weight.
Yeah, and it's like, that's not even fair, because I went back to, I didn't completely, I still didn't eat bread.
Yeah.
But I eat other things. It was like, it was playing a game, but I was losing. So, and not losing weight. It was a losing game, but not the kind of losing game I wanted. So, that makes it really hard, because it's like and then trying to get my mind wrapped back around, because I felt like I was still doing okay. And trying to get my mind wrapped around it again was not easy. Well, and it took a few tries.
It is really easy to fall into that. I'm still doing better than I was. And one thing I will say is most people that I talk to that fall off track, they never go all the way back. Even if they go off track, they usually live low carb-ish. They usually live low sugar-ish in comparison. I find that even if they go back to real sugar, it's usually not in the severe quantity that it used to be. So I feel like even in every setback, because I don't like the failure word, so we will say setback or stumbling block, and every challenge that you come across, I feel like there is a benefit there. I feel like at least you don't go all the way back to total junk food, everything processed, all of the sugar. I feel like in your brain, at least something stays in there that you're like, okay, but it's still better than it used to be. I get a cookie for that, right? I get cookies.
So, that's what it is. It's like, I knew too much to go all the way back, but at the same time, and different things going on in our lives, and just different things, that it's too easy to go back to some of those old habits. and
Yes.
especially when they're still in the house. And for me, they're never out of the house. You know, I always am going to have icing in my refrigerator. I am always going to have cookies usually laying around. I almost always have a few extra cupcakes around. You know, the blessing of being a baker, you know, is having that stuff, and it's always here.
Yes.
And so, you know, having to realize that, yeah, it's there, but that doesn't mean I want it.
See, and that's the key between I can't have and I don't want. And that's what I find is that diet culture cycle. Because you deprive yourself of, let's be honest, all the things you want. Cookies, cake, donuts, pizza, all the things in this goal that you're going to lose a lot of weight. And for me, I'm going to be honest, I'm impatient. So at the end of 5 days, I'd be like, dude, I gave up all the things. I ate all the healthy, and I didn't lose 5 pounds. I didn't even lose 1 pound. I might have even gained a pound. Screw you, I'm eating donuts. And I'll just buy a 12-pack and eat 6 and tell everyone I brought home 6 donuts. Because I deserve it. Because I deprived myself. And for me, it was always that cycle. I could only go a certain amount of time without all the things I wanted, and then I would indulge. And even if I did lose weight, I would gain that weight back, and I would blame the diet I was no longer following. Like, psh, how dare you stop working when I stopped doing you? That's rude.
It's so easy to have that diet mentality. I was a Weight Watcher leader for like 5 years. And, it was, when you're on a diet, you lose the weight so that you can go back to normal.
Right? And that's the goal. That's the goal.
You have this aha moment. It's, aha, I've lost the weight. Now I can eat again. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, it really doesn't. You've got to, make changes in your life that you can live with.
Yes.
Even if it means I'm not going to be maybe not as strict as some other people, but I have to be where I can live with this, where I can have my own things that I can enjoy and not feel like I'm on a diet, not feel like I'm being deprived. Because when you feel deprived, you're going to start craving those things and you're going to want them. And eventually, willpower only lasts for so long.
3 days.
If you don't have a substitute, if you don't have something better, then you're going to fall back to those old habits.
Well, and this time we figured out some really easy keto cookies and cupcake recipes that you can make when you're like elbows deep in baking. Because the thing is I think for you, and I know you so good, we've had so many talks, it was just a matter of being overwhelmed and not having time. Like, the only thing you have is the cookies and the cupcakes and the muffins right now that you're cooking for 3 days straight, and it's not going to kill you to eat 1 or 5.
And a lot of times I would get so busy, I would skip meals.
Yes.
And then I'm working in sugar. My house smells like sugar. Like, it almost always smells like sugar. And, it really, I'll give Joe a kiss. He's like, you smell good. It smells like sugar. So, when we figured out the cupcake recipe that we did, it was actually a mug cake recipe that we converted to using the oven. And then I make a chocolate mousse icing for the top. I lived on that for the first month. Like,
well, and you know what?
Cupcakes for breakfast.
They looked the same. They looked the same. Like, seriously, Jesus would look down and say, that's the same person. Can I eat this? No. How about this? That's the same person. They looked exactly like your sugar chocolate cupcakes that you make for everybody else to eat. I have a feeling your chocolate mousse was better than the icing, though, because chocolate mousse,
I don't even want the stuff I bake. I mean, it's good. I can promise it's good, but I don't want it anymore. I would rather have my cupcakes and be able to eat 2 or 3 and not feel any guilt at all. And, I'm not doing it like I I was in the very beginning, the first month or two, I was eating a lot of cupcakes.
Right? And that's
I
okay.
needed, that was my bridge to get up. Now it's like, it's rare. But if I want it, I know I can make it in a matter of minutes, and I've got it.
So that's me. In the beginning, I was about all the sweets and all the treats and the fat bombs and the cakes and the muffins and the cheesecakes. And for me, it was a bridge. It was a bridge to caring about feeling better. It was a bridge to feeling healthier. I very rarely eat sweets now. When I do, I very rarely add sweetener to them. But the peace of knowing that I can make it and knowing that I'm not actually going without it. If I want a donut, I make a donut. If I want cake, I make the cake. And guess what? Now that I know I can have it whenever I want, I don't want it all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, after that, like I said, that little bit of time of, and I needed it in the beginning. I needed that because I needed that substitute. And because the baking did not slow down. And so I would have mine in the refrigerator. And so while I'm baking for other people, I'd go and eat a cupcake or two.
Yeah.
And I've had people start wanting to order my cupcakes that are the sugar-free with the chocolate mousse icing because they are, yes.
Because they're so much better.
So good. And the thing is, it's so easy they could do it themselves, but,
But people don't always want to. And that's the one thing that I came across with my platform. When I first started keto, I couldn't get anything. So I had to make everything. And then people would say, oh, well, that's great, Dorian. It seems really easy. But I don't have that kind of time. Can't you just tell me where I can buy one of those, please and thank you? And I get that. You know what? Sometimes you want the convenience. And let's be honest, anything you didn't cook tastes like 1,000 times better. Even if it's bad food, I'm like, you know what? It's alright. I didn't cook it. It's alright. I'll be fine. I will eat this. I will be happy. I didn't have to cook this. So let's talk about what your aha moment was this time around and what changed when you fell off track. Like, what things came back? What symptoms came back? Because I know that you had a lot of unhappiness when you finally realized, holy shit, I'm all the way off track.
Yeah. I went back in May of this year. I was back to the weight I had started out with in 2017. And I had fallen off and gotten back and fallen, but I'd never gone all the way back.
Yes.
And at this point, which, we, of course, when everything hit last year, I went through the I don't care phase that a lot of people went through.
Yes.
And so I had gained weight back, and then I lost a lot of it, and then I gained it. It's,
yo-yo.
one of those things. I had the grandkids here with virtual school and all that fun, and the stress of that was just like, I guess the first time I really, really bad fell off was when my mom got sick and she had a couple strokes. And so that was just the stress of that. I was like, I don't care anymore. But that's a lie we tell ourselves too. When we say I don't care anymore, it just means I don't want to mess with it right now. But it's not that we don't care, because we still care.
I don't care right now.
Then last year with the virtual school and the bus dropping off kids' food every day, enough for 5 kids, and I only had 3 little ones here, and I'm eating off their school lunches and things. And so when May hit, May of this year, I was miserable. Everything hurt. My arthritis, my fibro, my migraines.
Oh yes.
Everything. I mean, every symptom that I had back in 2017 before this started, plus maybe they brought a few friends with them, and it was just, I didn't feel good about myself, and it wears on you when you know what you can do, but you just don't know how, or you don't know how to get yourself back into that mental space of, how do I do this again? And is it going to even work? I'm not as young as I was, 4 years ago.
Right?
I've got some other things that are going on now. Is this even going to be able to work this time? And for me, I did something that it was kind of on accident. My aha moment actually came after I accidentally fasted for a few days.
Okay.
And that's what got me started. It was an accidental fast.
Yeah.
The first day I had so much baking to do, and then when I was done that evening, I had a meeting I had to go to, and so by the time I got home, it was like 9 p.m., and I'm like, I'm not eating this
Going
late.
to bed, yeah.
So I said, I'm just going to skip. And I got up the next morning, I was like, you know what, I feel kind of good. And so I decided just to ride it out, and I did a 4-day fast. And for me, it was what I needed because it wiped out the cravings like instantly.
Detox.
It was a serious detox. Thank goodness I didn't have to go through the keto flu like I went through the detox symptoms in the beginning, but it was such a good detox. I was able, in those 4 days, I was able to also get off my Nexium that I had been trying to get off for years. And I stopped taking it during those few days and never had to go back on it. And so I was really grateful for that. But it was just a really good detox for me and got rid of the cravings, got all that stuff. I think I dropped like 7.5 pounds in the first 4 days of just all that inflammation.
Yes.
And, I love, because I know you cannot physically gain or lose that much weight in a matter of a couple days. But that inflammation is important, and getting rid of that. And just in that first few days, how much better I felt. And that's what kick-started me into getting my brain back to where it needed to be. And I just knew this was it. It was, I'm not doing it quite the way I did before. But it's working for me. And I'm enjoying it. So, and we went on 2 vacations this summer, and I was able to stay on track. So, and yeah, I did.
Well, and you and I have talked about water weight before, and you and I share that same pet peeve. When you start a new diet and you lose a bunch of weight and you're really excited and you're really proud of yourself, and everybody needs to rain on your parade by saying, that's just water weight. You didn't lose any actual fat. I realize that, but do you know what water weight is? Do you understand that water weight equals inflammation and inflammation equals pain? So if you're losing 10 pounds of pure water, you are losing the pain in your knees. You're losing the pain in your finger joints. You're losing that stiffness in your neck. You're losing the brain fog because, again, water is inflammation. Inflammation is pain. What does that cause in your brain? When your brain gets inflamed, you can't think straight. Your anxiety goes up. Your depression becomes less controllable because your body and your brain aren't functioning. So when somebody gets down on you and makes you feel bad and says, that's just water weight, tell them. Water weight equals inflammation. Inflammation equals pain. Dory and Kim say so. Stuff it. Stuff it.
So excited to get rid of that inflammation because I knew exactly what it was.
Yes.
And I was so happy to get rid of it because I knew what it was doing. Like you said, the brain fog and just feeling like you're walking around in a haze and having trouble carrying on a conversation. I have one finger that if I eat stuff that I'm not supposed to, the pain of this one joint starts hurting, and so that's my gauge. I will touch that finger and go, okay, you're doing okay still. But if that finger is hurting, and of course it's my middle finger,
right?
But if that finger is hurting, it's kind of like they're like, oh, there's your gauge, and it's going to rain or it's not going to rain. As I go, that's my gauge. If my inflammation is up, then that finger, that joint, it hurts. And so it's just something I can grab a hold of, and it's just it's something to keep me mentally aware of,
my
what's
gauge
going on in my body.
My gauge is anxiety, unfortunately. If I get accidental sugared Or if I go, oh, it can be a low carb day and I can eat half of a corn fritter, shut up. Who's looking? Nobody's watching me. You shut up. But if I eat something that I know I shouldn't have, within 20 minutes, I start to feel really anxious. Like really, really anxious. And the worst part about anxiety is there's no good reason for it. Like it's just this overwhelming, impending sense of doom that you don't know which direction it's going to come from. You just feel scared of like something bad's going to happen. And I feel that way right away. And it takes 2 or 3 days until it's worked out of my system. And I have to focus really hard. And I have to calm myself down. And I have to say, this is something you ate, Dory. You're not losing your mind. This is something you ate, Dory. You're not this will go away. Don't eat peanut butter, Dory. Don't do it. And it really makes me unlikely.
Peanut butter's bad. That was one that I was like, well, it's technically low carb.
I know.
It's technically, but it's not. And, peanut butter hates me.
So,
and
I did it to myself. When I first started keto, I was okay with peanut butter. And then I was working on this really awesome snowball recipe, you know, the ones with the Rice Krispies and the peanut butter, and they're like rolled in sugar. And I was working on a recipe for that, and I took to eating like peanut butter and sweetener every single night for like 2 weeks probably. And then I got that familiar feeling, like I've eaten something off plan. And I thought, but I haven't. And I'm a food detective now. Like, if I feel off, I will figure out what I ate that made me feel off. And I couldn't figure it out. And my son says, well, Mom, I have handed you that bowl of peanut butter stuff quite a few. And I was like, no, not the peanut butter. Peanut butter loves me. But I overate it to the point where I gave myself an aversion. It's been 3 whole years now, and every now and then I'm like, I could just have like a little lick of peanut butter. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah, peanut butter was, I had to work really, really hard because I love peanut butter.
Love it.
And I'm sorry, almond butter is just not as good.
It's not as good.
It's just not the same. And, and I did the no sugar peanut butter. And but it just, it's inflammation.
Yeah.
And so what I've been able to do is I found a jelly. And it is a no sugar. It's very, very low carb.
Yeah.
It's got some sugar alcohol in it, but it's a really good brand. It's a little expensive, but
they always
so
are.
I'll do a spoon of peanut butter and then a little bit of the jelly, and it gives me that peanut butter and jelly feeling and flavor without the peanut butter. And all I need is a spoonful of it, and I'm good. And so that's kind of been a treat for me is when I really feel like I need peanut butter.
So what I do when I'm desperate for peanut butter, because I get desperate too, I bought some peanut butter flavoring extract, and I make a walnut butter, and then I add the peanut butter flavor extract. It's not exactly the same. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not exactly the same. You don't get that same smooth, creamy, sticks to the roof of your mouth, but melts all the way down your tongue peanut butter. We love peanut butter. Like, ode to peanut butter. I still love you, peanut butter, but you don't love me. And I really have to learn to not eat things that make me sick, because it's not worth it. Like, it's just not worth it to be anxious and depressed and to be sick and to be achy, and then I don't sleep, and then I get the runs too. Like, yay, none of those things are fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I made vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
Really great. Marie Emmerich's vanilla ice cream. So I
good.
made her vanilla ice cream, and then I added the peanut butter flavoring to it and made a peanut butter shake.
Yes.
It was so good. It was so, and so it gave me that peanut butter, even though, because it's like, that's even better than peanut butter. You know, when you've got a milkshake and it tastes like peanut butter. So yeah, that was things like that, especially since I did this through the summer.
Yes.
Things like ice cream or making my own popsicles and things like that really got me through the summer. And now I'm into hot chocolate. I'm hot chocolate because it's getting cold. So,
right.
So now that's my thing now is But yeah, we did a birthday here yesterday for my daughter-in-law, and so I made everybody spaghetti, but instead of pasta for me, I got the I think it's the palm hearts.
Ooh, I have that one, the palmini one. I have that actually in my cupboard right now. Let me see if I can find it to show people. I have a couple different versions, but I do have the palmini noodles. That's where they are. And these ones are a rice noodle, and I have cognac ones.
Mine's in a can.
Oh, okay.
So
I have seen the palmini in the can too. The last time I got it was in a can. I think this is their new packaging.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's what I made for me. So, I was able to make,
these ones are good too.
Oh,
these are the cognac ones. These are angel hair. They're nice too. Although I won't lie, they're kind of chewy.
The one I got is I think it says it's linguine. I think.
Okay.
I don't even know. I've tried a couple different ones. The one that I've got, I really liked now. And so I made that, and I rinsed it off really good, and then cooked it in butter. Yes. And so they all had their pasta, and then I had that.
Yes.
And then for dessert, I made a angel food cake with blueberries, strawberries, and Cool Whip. So for me, because, they don't care, so I'm not going to share my stuff with them if they don't care. Like, if they care, that's fine. I will share all day. But if they don't care,
I'm hoarding it. Right? If you're not caring, I ain't sharing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if they care about it, I'll share. But so I made homemade whipped cream, and I made that with I guess I used monk fruit, but I don't even remember which sweetener. I have so many different sweeteners, the powdered, and so I made my own whipped cream, put it back in the Cool Whip container,
right?
And so, and then had my own blueberries and my own strawberries.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just had my own just little dessert because I didn't need a lot anyway,
right?
And so I was not deprived at all. Like, it was absolutely delicious.
So
and.
My favorite trick when I started keto was exactly that. I would make up some whipping cream and I would just keep it in the fridge. And then I could just have a tablespoon of whipping cream with a couple berries on it. And I literally never felt deprived. Like, that was my one treat. It was in the fridge. I had flavored whipped cream. I could have one little bite of that all day when I wanted to. And I never felt like I was missing a thing. Never underestimate how amazing just whipping cream is. Like, don't underestimate.
And it's so easy. It's so easy to make. I mean, and like, I made a little bit more than I should have, so I've got a Cool Whip container in my refrigerator now, so if I need, I need something. I'm thinking later I'm probably going to have to make some of those chocolate cupcakes and then just ice it with the whipping cream. Is what I'm thinking that's what I'm probably going to need this week sometime, so.
Oh, yes. So much, yes. Like, and the beauty of it is whipped up, it stays good in your fridge like that as long as the date on your whipping cream is. People always ask me, and it depends on the date of your cream. If your cream is good for 5 more days, you've got 5 days. If your cream is good for 2 weeks, you got 2 weeks. So, but it will stay whipped up fresh, nice in your fridge. You can just scoop it out. I also tell people, if you work outside of the house, make up your fancy whipping cream, put it in a little bag, and take it to work. So when everybody's out getting their expensive coffees, just put your nice, pretty fancy whipping cream, a little bit of sparkles or something on there, and save $6 at Starbucks. Like, I have a theory, and it's called screw Starbucks. Like,
yeah.
Screw Starbucks. Although I love their festive ideas they get every year. I'm not going to lie. Every season they come out with new drinks, I have to knock them off. Because one, I don't want your sugar Starbucks, and also I don't want your high ticket price Starbucks. I want your ideas. I totally want to steal your ideas and make pumpkin spice everything.
I was still doing Starbucks until they got rid of the sugar-free cinnamon dolce. When they got rid of that, I was like, I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm like, I'm done, because you don't have anything I want now. I'm like, if I want black coffee with a little heavy cream, I can do do that here for
Right.
50 cents or less. So there's no point in even going to it unless they bring back the cinnamon dolce, and I don't think they're going to do that. So
well, and their cream ticks me off too. Like my cream at home is 33% cream, which means it's just under a gram of carbs per tablespoon. But if you get cream out, it's likely 10%. So you're getting like probably closer to 2.5 grams of carbs per tablespoon. So if you go out and you get an extra large coffee with 2 or 3 cream, you're literally looking at 5 grams of carbs just in a cup of coffee. And if you get the sugar-free syrup shots, you're looking at closer to 20 grams of carbs. And I didn't know that until I went to McDonald's and I asked them for 1 shot of syrup. And they said, "Are you sure? We usually put 3 in an extra large." And I'm like, oh, the carbs though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's just better to do it themselves. If you can, we find, and there's things I've learned I just don't want anymore. I just don't need it. I'm good without it. And then there's other things that I need this, and I'm going to have to find a way around it. And, and that's something that's important is, figuring out, okay, is this worth my time?
Yes.
Is this really going to be worth it? Because if I'm going to make it, it better be worth it.
It better be good.
I'm like, I don't even want to, I'm not even going to mess with it anymore. It's not worth it. And because my time is limited, we're busy people. And so, I'm a baker. I'm not a cook.
Yeah.
People are like, I need recipes, and I'm like, eat meat.
Eat meat and cupcakes.
Eat meat and a couple of vegetable, I had a friend that she's like, I need you to be my coach. She's like, I need some recipes, and I went, eat meat. Eat a couple, eat some broccoli, or my favorite is Brussels sprouts cooked in bacon grease.
Oh my God, Brussels sprouts with bacon and crumbled bacon. Yeah, I could eat that all day. Like if someone said to me, every single day for a week you have to have a vegetable, I would probably either pick Brussels sprouts with bacon or spaghetti squash or cauliflower in some incarnation, because cauliflower is the magical can be anything in the world.
Yes.
Like
I really do like cauliflower mashed potatoes. It's really, really good.
So
for Thanksgiving, I make a cauliflower casserole that the family goes nuts over. And it's funny because, I'm making it so I can have a side that I don't have to worry about. But everybody else loves it, which is wonderful. So
that's that way at my house too. So the other day I made a package of keto cornbread mix from Rosa's Keto Treats. I love her. She's so amazing. But I made it, and I made half of the pan regular, and I love to divide things and make them different just because I like variety. So I made half regular cornbread, and the other half I added jalapeno and cheese to it. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. Even my non-keto family liked it, and I was like, do I really need 2 pans of this to myself? I probably don't. So I shared. Did I want to share? No. Yeah. No, not even a little bit.
But there's times like that where you're thinking, if I have it, I will eat the whole thing.
I will.
I've done that. There's certain things that I'm like, I have to share this because I will eat the whole thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's not
no shame. No shame.
Yeah.
So when I started keto, I was really depressed because I was so used to diet culture. And I made a list of all the foods that I was never going to eat again so that I could mourn that list. And I'm not going to lie, I used the list to punish myself. I'd be like, oh, you could have a donut, but no, you want to be healthy. Way to go, Dory. Way to go. Way to go.
Thanks a lot,
dumbass. Yeah. And I realized now every single one of those things that was on that list is literally a thing I eat. I don't go without any of the things that were on my list. So what I recommend to people now, instead of making a list of the foods you're never going to have, make a list of your must-haves. So make a list of your favorite foods. Make a list of the things you know you can't live without. If it's cheesecake, Be it's cheesecake. If it's donuts, it's donuts. Don't feel bad about that. Decide what are the things you can't live without, and then find a healthier version of it. Find a low-carb version of it. Find a keto version. Even if you're eating the sugar still, but you're making it homemade, it's still better for you. All day long, anything you make at home is better for you. So what are your I can't live without that list?
Yeah. I know for me it was the cupcakes and the cheesecake. That was pretty much that was the I have to. And now when we came up with the sugar cookies, that was awesome. I still haven't done the decorating of them yet. I've got to do the decorating. I haven't got into that yet. But in fact, we've got a cookie. It's a Mexican wedding cookie that Joe and I converted. Ooh. And it is so good. And I was thinking, you know what, the holidays are coming up. It's time to make those. Oh, so yes. I've got to find that recipe. But, things like, making like pancakes or waffles.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that.
Love waffles.
Like, I can't do this. Addicted. But it's so easy to be able to make your own on those. And, but yeah, for me, when I started making the cheesecake, and that was another thing that I would just, instead of doing a crust, I wouldn't even mess with the crust. I would just chop up a few pecans and put them in the bottom of the dish, and then make up a fluffy cheesecake and maybe put berries on top. Don't even need that. Maybe. It was so good. I didn't need anything on top. And, that and those chocolate cupcakes with that chocolate mousse icing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and don't let anybody guilt you.
When you find stuff like that, you don't feel like you're going without. And that's the key, is because when you feel deprived, they said, what is it? The word diet. It's the word die.
Right.
And you're just like, I'm going to die if I can't have this.
Yes.
And being able to say, no, I can have this if I want it. That's been my thing lately, is that I look and go, I don't want that. Like, I can have it if I want it. I mean, I can have it if I want to.
I can eat anything I want.
I said I used to be a Weight Watcher leader, and it was so funny because I would run into people at Walmart, and they would like hide their cart from me. They didn't want me to see, and I'm like, I'm not the food police. I promise.
I don't care.
I'm not going to judge you. I'm not looking in your cart. But that's what, everybody's like, but I'm an adult. I can eat what I want. Nobody can tell me what to do on what I'm going to eat. So I have to decide.
Yes.
Is this worth it? Do I really want it? Sometimes the answer is yes.
It might be. Sometimes, you know what? It might be worth 3 days of being sick. It might be. Or you might not even get sick. Like, you might get lucky. Like, you might not even poop your pants, throw up, or anything. You might not get a migraine. Bad things might not happen. I'm not going to lie. You're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice every time you do that. And it also comes with a warning that, remember, you fart in your sleep. So if you're going to eat things that are going to make you poop yourself, you fart in your sleep. Enough said.
I'm grateful that's not one of my side effects.
It might have happened to me one time. It might have happened to me one time.
Mine is, for me, it's like the swelling, the inflammation. Like one time, Joe and I went to the movies, and we ate the popcorn.
Yeah. Well, because it smells so damn good. It smells so good, though. Damn you, popcorn.
Popcorn is one of my, that's my top 10. Like, and it smells better than it tastes always, but it's
This is so a fresh popcorn maker.
Ate a thing of popcorn. And we are walking out of the theater to the car, and like my stomach was swollen, my fingers were swollen, everything was swollen. It had only been minutes, and everything was swollen. I was like, this is going to be,
not worth it.
At the moment, it was worth it.
Right. So
it wasn't worth it afterwards.
Popcorn is my nemesis. Popcorn is my nemesis. Like, It's so beloved at my house that I have a machine. I have this covered just so that everybody doesn't know all the time. It's a popcorn maker. I make it fresh for my family. I use the ghee. I use the really good butter, salt. It smells so good. But you know what I don't eat is I don't eat the popcorn. I love to smell it. And for the first few times, I would eat just a couple pieces. But two things. One, it tastes like cardboard to me now. It doesn't taste like good. And two, it makes me feel swollen right away. So if I know in advance that we're going to go somewhere where I'm going to really want popcorn, I make my keto popcorn substitute, which is just made out of whipped eggs and cheese and then popcorn flavor. And that I can pre-make up in advance, and I can bring it with me, and I can smell their popcorn but eat my own. Because I still want to smell theirs.
I need to make that. I've still not made that, the popcorn.
It's seriously so good.
That's one of the things that I really want to do because, like you said, the smell is even better than the taste. The taste is good, but the smell of popcorn is so amazing. And sometimes you can, like, I'll take a little baggie of almonds or something.
Yeah.
And I can smell the popcorn and eat that, and I have that feeling of being able to. But, one of the things is that we're really bad about being all or nothing.
Right?
And
either you're perfect or you suck.
Exactly. And so if we feel like we've fallen off the wagon, so, what do?
I already ate that today.
Catching on fire, and we just give up. And it's, one of the best, I used to always say is, if you are driving and you get a flat tire, so what do? You get out of your car and slash the other three. That makes sense. Instead of doing that, you repair that tire. You don't just give up and say, well, I'm never going to drive again. I got a flat tire. I'm done. I'm over. Forget it. It's not worth it. But yet we do this to ourselves. So it's like if we have a day that we aren't perfect,
it's okay.
We're not going to be perfect. It's not possible really to be perfect. But instead of beating ourselves up, be kind to ourselves.
Yes.
And if we could start talking to ourselves the way we talk to other people, we are so nice. When somebody else falls down, you pick them up, you tell them it's okay, you can do this, I'm here for you. But if we do it, we look at ourselves in the mirror and we cuss ourselves out, or we gripe at ourselves and we tell ourselves we're worthless and it's not worth it and we can't do it. And we put ourselves down. If we could start talking to ourselves the way we treat other people, we would be so much happier. And so that's been mine. It's like, I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to be kind to myself. And because of that mental change, it's made this possible this time where I've seen things that I've not been able to the 4 years before this point.
It was
and I know this time it's going to stick.
It was that exact moment for me too, when I realized it's not that I don't want those things. It's not that I can't have them. I just don't want them. And when I found keto and I decided I was going to do it, I decided right away, this time it's not a diet. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to cold turkey. And I used to put 6 sugars and international creamer in this when I drank a coffee. And the first time I put 5 sugars instead of 6, I celebrated that. And I didn't care. I made my family celebrate it with me. I'm making a healthier choice today. And if I wake up every day and I make one small healthy choice, those choices will compound and I'll start to feel better and it'll be easier to make those choices. I did not wake up one day and start a diet. I slowly started eating less carbs. I very slowly started eating less sugar until I got to the point where I didn't feel like I needed those things. And don't let anyone guilt you over transition foods. I don't care what anybody says. I have a friend who started keto and the first thing she learned was how to make my sugar-free cotton candy. And her friends were like, of course you'd go for the junk food first. Do it though. If that's what gets you through, do it. You can still have it and you can still lose. Eat the cupcake. Eat the cupcake. Like, just make sure it's keto. eat the keto cupcake.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, eat the keto cheesecake. I have a friend who ate cheesecake every single day for 6 months and lost 100 pounds. She's like, girl, I eat cheesecake every day. Because you know what? I can. Because I can. And it's that freedom of knowing that you can have what you want when you want it. What keeps me keto is living the fat girl dream. Now, I love the not being depressed. I love the no anxiety. I love the no arthritis pain. All those things are awesome. The no migraines, the no IBS, all wicked. But at the end of the day, what keeps me keto is I want to eat the things I want to eat when I want to eat them, and I don't want to get fat. That's it. And I could get on my soapbox and I could preach to you about all the amazing health benefits, and I do that stuff too. But at the end of the day, what keeps me in this lifestyle is I get to eat what I want, when I want, and I don't gain weight. I don't get sick. I don't have any issues. So for you, what is the one thing? I know you said it was the light bulb that changed it this time, but what's the one thing that lets you know this time is forever? Like, this time isn't until I lose a certain amount of weight and then go back.
Well, after our son got married, we've been converting his room into an exercise room right now. I never thought I would do that. You know, you always see that where they're like, oh yeah, their bedroom is an exercise room or a craft room, and that, like, no, we didn't. This, you know, we had been, and we're having to do that now, and the room was right next to our room, so it made sense that. So I have we have a lot of space. We have a large house. And we have all of our 3 kids are all grown and moved out. So each bedroom, I had clothes in them.
Okay.
Different sizes.
Oh, yes.
Lots of different sizes. So it was like shopping. It was really kind of fun because I was like, so I spent days. I actually told our son, because he's still moving, they live next door.
Yeah.
So he's been coming in and bringing things in. He said, you need to text me before you come over just to make sure I have clothes on because I have been going through and trying on clothing and wearing all these clothes that I haven't been able to wear in years and years, but it's been, okay, this is too big. It's gone.
Yeah, get rid of it.
I've already gotten rid of about 3 garbage bags full of clothes, and I'm like, I'm not going to be that size again. This time is, you know, we were even, like, my wedding ring isn't fitting because it's too big. And last time, I wanted to get it sized, but I was scared to get it sized because that's scary.
It is.
And I didn't do it, and then I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't because then I wouldn't have been able to wear it. And this time, I want to wait until winter's over since you never know what your finger size is going to be in this
swelling
cold.
in the winter. So bad.
Over, and then I'm getting my ring sized. And it's like, these are things you can't come back from. It's like, this is it. And, but, you know, the fact that I want to exercise, you know, and I've done, like I said, off and on for 4 years. I was solid almost for 2 full years. And, you know, I was kind of proud of myself because I lost the weight without exercising. And I did this time again, too. I did it without exercising. And there's this thing, because everybody has it in their mind, okay, eat less, move more.
Yes.
And we know that's not true. And because now then I got where I'm eating more and moving less. So
right?
It's not true. You know, I'm eating more. I'm just eating good for me food.
Yeah. And
I'm not moving. So, but now it's because I've lost enough weight, because I'm getting close to, I've lost almost 50 pounds now, that, you know, I want to tone things up.
Yes.
Because some things have disappeared that I never thought would disappear. And some things, so now it's like, okay, now we're just working on lifting and toning. And so I'm not working out to lose weight, but I am wanting to get stronger and healthier. And, you know, we had that kind of a wake-up call where, you know, we got pretty sick. And, you know, I want to live out the second half of my life being even healthier than I was the first half. So yes, I'm going to live till I'm 102.
Right?
So.
I always said that I wanted to die before I got too wrinkly. But one thing I will say is I was on live and Josh came in. Josh has been following me for about 3 years. And he said, is it just me or are you gradually getting hotter, Dory? And I'm like, I am though. If I look back at 2017 when I started keto, I look younger now than I did 4 years ago. Like I'm literally aging backwards. My skin is getting tighter. My skin is getting more clear. And it sounds ridiculous, but I do look younger. You look younger than you did 4 years ago too.
Yeah,
like
we've talked about that. Yeah, we've talked about
and you
that a lot.
do, like you do, girl.
I decided to let my hair be natural color, which you
Yes.
would think, right there. And and I look younger than I did a few years ago. So yeah, so now it's like I'm wanting to exercise, but not because I have to. It's not.
It's
I don't
not a
have
half.
to do anything I don't want to do.
Right?
But now
I'm grown. You're not the boss of me.
I told Joe, I said, well, he may have a wife in a bikini next summer. You never know. So I know.
Look out, Daddy. Look out. Well, and
it's like, I feel good. I feel good in my skin. It's like I'm not to my goal yet. I'm close, though. I'm closer than I've been in, I can't even tell you how long. I'm very close. I've had a lot of people ask me if I was already at goal, and I've got I would say, about 15 more pounds I'd like to lose. Maybe 20, but about 15. But I'm not in any hurry. I'm not worried about it. I'm enjoying where I am. I'm enjoying being able to go and, buy clothes and know that it's going to fit. And it was like, when I was going through the closet of all the clothes, and I'm like, oh, this looks awful. There's no way. I put it on, and I'm like, oh, but it looks cute.
Oh, but hello.
And I'm like, things that I would have thought would never look cute. I'm like, well, I just feel like I look cuter in the clothes that, and it's fun. It's fun. And it's, that the health is so much a part of it. But like you said, I want to eat what I want to eat. And I want to feel good about,
eating it.
I know that, I know it was, I'm always going to have the little chubby cheeks, and that's just who I am. And
me too.
I'm okay with that. And
we're like all the cheeks when we smile. Like when I smile really big, my eyes completely disappear into my face. I'm like, who is that happy, Dory? Why are you that happy? Keto.
Yeah. At least now when I smile, which before when the cheeks were bigger, when I smiled, the eyes completely disappeared. Like they were like, is there eyes in there? So yeah, it is. It's definitely, it's fun. It's fun being healthy. It's not about what anybody else thinks.
No.
It's how I feel. I feel good. I feel good in my own skin. I enjoy the food I eat. I enjoy having more energy. I enjoy my time and enjoy my life more.
Right.
And I think that's what we all want. We all want to enjoy our lives. We want to be able to do what we want to do.
Right.
But we want to, eat what we want to eat, but we want to enjoy our lives. And so to be able to find a way to eat that I enjoy, that, I like what, like we're going to have supper in a little bit.
Food.
And I've already pre-grilled some hamburgers and going to throw it on a bed of lettuce and make a burger salad. And it's delicious. And I don't miss the other stuff.
I don't
It doesn't
either.
add anything to my life. It doesn't add anything to our lives, but it does take away. And that's the thing, is when we get to the point where we realize, well, yeah, I can eat all that sugar if I want to, but what is it really doing for me? And, when we went through this, the last 2 months of this crazy storm, that's when I knew that this was for real this time, was when I didn't turn back to food for my food's not my friend. Not my comfort. And, every time something went wrong, I went to food for my comfort. And, we went through, the hardest storm that I've ever gone through in
bad.
my life, and to not turn to food, not say, okay, comfort me, make me feel better, make this problem go away, because it's not going to. It's not going to fix anything. It's just going to add more problems. And so to be able to look at it and go, you know what, you don't like me. You lie, you pretend, you tell me you'll make me feel better. You're a liar. You say, oh, I'll fix your problems. I'll make you feel better. And it's all lies. And so when I was able to go, look, you're just a liar, and I don't need liars in my life. So that's when I was like, bye, sugar, sorry, so long.
See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
We're not friends.
See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
We can't just be friends.
Right? We can't be friends. You broke my heart. I can't be friends with someone who broke my heart like that.
Exactly.
Get on, getting on.
Yeah.
So, one thing I want to encourage you to share on Clapper, this is totally off topic for a wrap-up, which is bizarre, but one of my friends recently started her journey of growing out her gray. So I know that is a story and a journey that so many people here on Clapper want to share with you. There's an entire group of women who have committed to going natural and growing out their gray. And I won't lie, I already told them about you and how much younger you look with your natural gray than you did with your old blonde. So I want that to be one of the first videos that you post, is if you can find, even if you just send me the pictures, I'll help you make a video. But people need to see the beautiful transition in being naturally you. Like, as women, we really need to be able to embrace that. Hell, men do. They're silver foxes. Why are we old bags? Embrace your beauty that is you.
Yeah, and it really, it was one of those things, it was one of those things I did on a whim. It was like, I saw these pictures of these women who went to their natural color. I'm like, I'm going to do it. Well, then I've said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to stick to it. So, and it was probably 6 months into it when I decided to let my curls be natural too, because I don't want to straighten my veins. And for me, it was really, my transition was so much easier because of, number one, the curls, and then also because I went from highlights and lowlights to natural highlights and lowlights. Like, most of the time, and when we take a picture, I still look blonde. Yeah. And unless you're outside, and then it's like, woo, there's the white. And so, I was very, very lucky with my transition, but I was kind of jealous a little bit of, because some of the, with the dark hair and the gorgeous silvers that come. Mine's more of a platinum, so it's got that blonde look to it, kind of. But it's amazing because I was like, I've been spending for 30 years all this money to get hair that look like this.
Right. That looks like my natural hair.
That's a lot of money to waste. So, but I very, it was one of those transitions that, because mine wasn't as noticeable, I had to tell people. I'm like, I'm
going natural.
Think, you just need to touch up or something. It's
I'm going natural.
Purpose, So I did. I told probably too many people because it was an exciting, and I joined a couple groups of just kind of helping and encouraging people, and it really is. It's a movement of women.
It is
going. You know what? I'm beautiful the way God created me, and the one thing I've been told over and over again is like how much better my skin tone looks and how my eye color pops now. And it didn't before because I was hiding it behind the color. So it's one of those, I've been fully transitioned for about 1.5 years now, and I'm really grateful that I don't have to worry about that every couple months and going, I remember going on a band trip with the kids and taking something to cover up because the white around my face was showing. And I'm like, well, I can't have that, and trying to cover that up. And it's like, I don't have to worry about it anymore. And so, I encourage anybody who wants to just try it. Because what does it hurt? It takes a little while to grow out, but If you don't like it, you can always go back to the color.
Right.
So,
you can always go back. And now that you're here on Clapper, I want you to know, Clapper is the app where we get to be ourselves. Like, if I don't feel like doing my hair and my makeup to go on Instagram or Facebook, Clapper's where you'll find me. Because on Clapper, my people don't care. They're there for me. They're there for my personality. They tell me if my hair looks pretty like Sika did, but they don't care. Like, if I'm bedhead and I'm, in a mood and I just feel like talking to my people, that's cool. If I want to do my hair and makeup and feel fabulous about myself and dance around, that's fine too. But there are no expectations on Clapper except for be you. Be you. Be all the beautiful, wonderful things that are you. And that's how you find your people on Clapper, is just be you. So I'm so excited. Oh my God.
We all need to be more. We all need to be us. Like, it's like, this is who I am. Like, this is me. And, this is how so being ourselves, and I think a lot of times we try to hide behind things and try to change the way we look for other people, and it's like, I want to be who I am. And it's taken a little adjustment. Joe had a little adjustment, especially when he didn't mind the hair color change, but when I stopped straightening my hair, that took him a little bit of adjustment. But he likes it now. So, it's like, after that many years, it is an adjustment. So, and there's always going to be somebody who's going to try to tell you what they think.
Oh.
And it's like, did I ask your opinion? I put my Christmas tree up. We got it in over the weekend.
Yes.
We had ordered a new one. And I'm like, I'm putting my Christmas tree up.
Yes.
We've had a rough couple months. And I can celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving at the same time. You can. It's okay to do that. And I had a few people try to, put in their opinion. And I'm like,
didn't ask.
You don't have to put up your tree, but this is what I did for me. And I'm happy. So, it's okay to if you don't want to put your Christmas tree up till the day after Thanksgiving, then great. Do it. We used to do that too, but if you want to put it up last day of October, I don't care.
Right? Be true to you. And I think that is the most important message, no matter what the question is. No matter what the topic is, no matter what you're discussing, no matter what the question is, let's be honest. The answer is always be true to you, and you'll never go wrong. Be true to you. Do you. Do you, boo.
And how about, and also love yourself.
Yes.
Love who you are. Be kind to yourself. We have all that, I have a bunch of shirts that says be kind, and we have in our area, a lot of people have yard signs, and it says be kind, and it's such a cool message, and we all need to be kind, but be kind to ourselves. Treat ourselves with love and respect, appreciate the gifts that we've been given, and, enjoy this life that we have, because it really it goes by really fast. I would never think that I would at this. I was like 30, like
yesterday.
2 years ago, it's like I don't even know. Like, my kids were babies, and they're all grown. They're all married. They're all out of the house. It just, time goes really fast, and the older we get, the faster it gets, and it just keeps going faster and faster, and so the one thing is, we try to do a lot of things to change things in our lives, but we need to be happy with who we are. And we need to, be kind to ourselves. When we fall, when we make a mistake and we don't do things perfect, then we need to be like, you know what, it's okay. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, ask for help if you need help.
And start again.
And move forward. Yeah, it's okay. I had a couple days where, I woke up this morning and I felt the inflammation in my fingers. And I was like, I know that, and it wasn't even yesterday, it was a couple days ago, and it's finally caught up with me, because that's a lie too.
I'm
you do
smooth.
You don't see it the next day, so you think, oh, good, I got away with it. And then a couple days later, it shows up. So I had that this week, and I woke up and I'm like, oh, we're gonna do this live tonight, and I feel like you know.
Oh, so that's how it's going to be.
I feel blah. So I've had a little extra salt today. I've had a little extra water today, and realized a couple culprits that I can have in moderation, but if I'm not careful, yeah, just a little. I can do that, and honestly, for me, I can do it. Some people have to be that, no, I can't have it ever again.
Super strict, yeah.
For me, I can go, I can have a little bit, but when a little bit turns into a lot of it, then it hurts me. And I've realized I just, so it was like this morning, everything in me wanted to just beat myself up and just say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And instead it's like, no, you're okay. You've got this. And you're not alone.
Never.
We have a wonderful community.
We
we're not
do.
alone.
Never once have I ever reached out to someone or had someone reach out to me and not have time. There's always someone who's available to help you if you're looking for help. And I'm so excited because you're going to learn there's actually a pretty good sized keto community on Clapper, and we're growing every day. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We definitely need to do it again because we literally wrapped an hour and 15 minutes and it feels like a half an hour. So I feel like we definitely need to do this again another time, and maybe we'll go more in depth into specific topics. But for tonight, it was amazing to get to know you, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us, because it's not always easy, and you've never done an Instagram Live before either, or a Clapper Live, so celebration, hello, can we get some hearts, for Kim?
The only lives I've ever done is through, for church.
Yes, your Facebook church lives.
So it was like, this was different, and just talking one-on-one like this. And so I was, I was a little nervous today, but I was like, I was pretty excited about it though.
Well,
and Joe's been sitting in the other room just listening to us. So.
Well, say hi to the hubby for me. Tell him I wish him well and lots of strength and power. And also, I'm really glad that this time this year, when you guys had health issues to face, you had keto under your belt. Because I wonder how much harder it would be if you weren't feeling your healthiest when it hits. So I'm so proud of you guys, and I look for your updates on Facebook all the time, and just know that I'm cheering for Joe. He's doing so good. I'm so proud of him.
He is. He's doing so good. It's been wonderful to watch and be a part of this, and to have a whole nother thing to share on all that. So it's been really blessing. So. But, I can't tell you how many people I told. I'm so grateful that I decided in May to make this change so that when September hit and we got sick, I could handle it a lot better and was a lot stronger. And I can't imagine, what it would have been like if it had hit months and months ago. So, yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
And I'm so excited we finally got to do this. So.
I know. I can't believe, we've done voice chats before. It's not like I've never seen your face, but we have never done this. So I'm so excited. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we're totally going to do it again. Everybody needs to follow Kim on Clapper and stay tuned to see what kind of amazing stories she has, because this woman is incredible. The things that you will learn about her over the next few months, you're going to feel honored to know her. Trust me, I am honored to know her. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you. Bye, darling. You too.